Hi guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So following on really from the video where I showed you the bits and bobs that I made on holiday, I just thought I would come on now and do you know, some of the finishing off bits that we talked about when I showed the items. So this was just one of the pieces that I made, and the intention with it being a tag. So as you can see, I've just punched a hole since I've come home and popped on one of those little hole reinforcers, and then I've popped some muslin just through there. I did distress ink that a bit so as it looks a bit more grungy, and then I've just got some lace trim here which I'm going to pop here in the corner. Now I've finally invested in some Fabri-Tac. It was really expensive, so I had obviously been not wanting to buy it, but you know, I have tried quite a few different glues. I mean, I'm always happy, to be fair, with, you know, gluing my fabric down with the tacky glue or with the hot glue. However, you know, as I have said recently, if you pulled on it, you could pull the fabric off. So, I mean, I go on the assumption people wouldn't really be pulling the fabric off, because why would you buy something and then try and pull the fabric off? But, you know, just to be on the safe side, I guess, I thought I would try this, because obviously lots of people swear by the Fabri-Tac. So I ordered it from Amazon and it's just arrived yesterday. So I'm just going to, I actually ordered it while we were still on holiday, the day before we came home. So, and actually, although it was on Prime, it still had a delay, you know, it wasn't actually the next day. So I have never used this before. We'll see how, you know, how we get on. So I'm just going to glue this bit of lace down here. Whoa, comes out pretty fast, which obviously is in contrast with the tacky glue, which I seem to be struggling with lately. I can see it's quite thready. I do hear people say that quite often about it, but you know, if it sticks really well, that's the main thing, isn't it? So I'm going to pop that there. I just had this little frame, which is a stamped piece, just laying around on my desk, which I thought would actually look really good on there as well. So again, I'm just going to stick that using that Fabri-Tac. Who knows, maybe this is going to become my new favourite glue. I've already got it now on my finger. No sooner have I opened the bottle, I've stuck down, what, 2 pieces, and now already it's all over my fingers, which that's just me, to be honest. Right, there we go. And then I've got the bling, which I don't know how well the Fabri-Tac will glue that, but you know, I have heard people say such positive things that hopefully it, you know, really is going to be very, very good. Now, do I have the bling on the butterfly up there or down here? I'm going to have it, I think, on the butterfly, just because otherwise there's nothing much kind of drawing your eye up there. Oh, I'm so trying to stop saying, you know, and kind of. When I did the video, you know, oh gosh, there I go again. When I first got home, the one, you know, there I go again, showing the items that I made on holiday. When I edited the video, because I'd obviously had to stop it and start it a couple of times for the getting the things out of the bag, I edited out, because obviously when I was watching it to find the right places to join it, I was so horrified at how many times I was saying, you know. So I did actually delete out loads of them, but there's still loads in there, so I'm going to try even harder to stop saying it. Right, so that's that now. Finished tag, really gorgeous. I love how that's turned out. So I'm just going to put that to one side. So here is my little skinny tag that I made, which again, I've just punched a hole in and popped the hole reinforcer at the top. Just going to ink that up a little bit more, like that. And then I might just use that same muslin again, to be honest, because, you know, oh, there I go again. It actually looked really nice. So, do I want that? actually. I don't think I will use that. What I would like to use is that ball chain stuff, but it's all buried, so perhaps I'll save this one for a bit later. But actually I might just pop on one of those Martha Stewart butterflies, which I just have ready punched here in a little jar. I think they just finish things off really nicely, don't they? So I'll just ink that up a bit because we've gone for quite a grungy appearance here. Maybe up there. Okay, and I will use my just regular old tacky glue, oops, which now seems very messy on the nozzle, so let me just wipe that off on my carrier bag that's to the side. There we go. So that's that one, and I'm going to hopefully get my ball chain and put that around there, I think. So I'll just pop that to one side with, you know, knowing that I have further things to do with that. So then I've got this one, which again, really pretty. And I thought I might add a flower or something to this one. So in my little jar, I've got some flowers here that, again, they're those paper flowers, but I've talked about these before. I've just sprayed them up with some dilution spray so that they're not the original colour. I couldn't tell you what original colour this was. It might have even been yellow or orange. So I might just pop that on there. No, probably not the turquoise, because that didn't seem to really complement that very well, did it? It's strange because obviously being away, when you come back, it is hard to get back in the swing of doing videos and things, you know. Oh, there's that, you know, again. I mean, obviously, I had done a lot of videoing before I went, so I had plenty to upload. But it's strange how quickly you get out of your mode. So, and obviously I had filmed ahead a few for my challenge series, and I've filmed ahead a few for the mass making workshops, thankfully. However, I think the last one of the challenge was G, so no, sorry, F, so I need to do G. So I'm going to have to crack on and do that quite soon, because obviously, you know, before I know it, we will be at that Saturday and then I won't have a video ready. So I need to decide what I'm actually going to do for G and crack on and do that. But at the moment, I'm feeling a bit not quite in the zone just yet. So I'm going to just bide my time a little bit before I do that. I don't want to do that too soon before I'm actually back in the crafting zone, as it were. I mean, obviously the kids are still at home from school, so that also throws you, because, you know, it's not quite as peaceful as it is normally. And I mean, obviously there's, you know, things that we do all day, so I haven't got time to be doing things because I work part-time. Obviously I've normally got my Mondays and Tuesdays that I can just craft along. I haven't got those in the holidays, so it's a case of quickly, while they're still asleep, you know, get some crafting done. I mean, my daughter is awake, but she's just on her tablet. Terrible parenting, I know, just leaving her on her tablet, but otherwise she wouldn't really be amusing herself. Right, so I quite like that. And then I might just pop some bling. Again, do I want that on the butterfly, or shall we have it down here? I think we'll have it down there. And again, I'm just going to try that Fabri-Tac for sticking on the bling. Oops. So I think that the best thing to do is just a bit like riding a horse, you know, is just get straight back on the horse and just try and get my hand back in doing the videos so that I get back in the swing of it as quickly as possible, because you know, the longer that goes by, the more detached you become from the process. So that's what I'm aiming to do, is just do a video each morning, even if it doesn't get uploaded for a couple of days or a few days. At least then it's I've kept my hand in, I suppose would be the expression. And whilst I was away, obviously lots of people made comments requesting certain things. So I know that several people requested, could I do a journal similar to my holiday journal? So I have obviously made a note, and I will try and endeavour to do something like that. The other thing was the True Junk Journal, which that's obviously, I completed that before the holiday, so I need to do a flip through and list that in my Etsy. Along with the folio that we worked on with the TikTok kit. That's also I completed obviously before the holiday, so again need to do a flip through and a video for that. But yeah, so the True Junk Journal and the holiday journal, I know that people did request me to do a complete process of those two things. So they are on my, I've, you know, made some notes of the types of things that people have been requesting. So I have made a note of that, and I will endeavour to do things. It's just a case of getting around to them, really. So it may be that it won't happen for a little while, because obviously I've got other things going on and other things that are half done, you know, half filmed already and things like that. But I have made a note, so I will be following up with that and hopefully doing some of those things. Just a note, actually, because a few people expressed curiosity, I suppose, about the magazine pages that I said that I used. And yes, they were normal, you know, regular magazine pages. It was just a craft magazine. Can't remember what craft magazine it was, but they were just normal magazine pages. These sort of semi-glossy type pages that you get in magazines. I mean, I wouldn't call them fully glossy, but they certainly weren't matte. They were just regular magazine pages. And the paint that I used household emulsion. I don't know whether that's termed differently in different places in the world, but household emulsion is just the normal matte finish paint that you would paint in your house on your walls. So that was what I used for that. I'm just going to check that I'm in frame, because I've just got this horrible feeling. Right, hopefully I have been in frame, because that's another thing, was when I was editing some of my videos, I thought, oh, I'm quite far out, you know, zoomed quite far out. And I wasn't sure how clear the view was. So I then did a couple of videos where I zoomed in a lot more, but it then seemed actually it was worse, and I was off, you know, out of frame more than I was in frame. So again, I apologise for that. It's just trying to, you know, improve your viewing experience, I suppose, by playing around and getting the best view. And obviously, because this is not a permanent setup, you know, when I finish this, my iPad comes down, and obviously to upload the video and use my iPad. So when I put it up there next time, it isn't necessarily in 100% the same place. The pieces I'm working on aren't the same, because they may be bigger or smaller. So fitting into what was maybe the perfect frame one time may not be perfect the next time. Yeah, so I'm going to try and work on that a little bit better as well. So yeah, Anyway, how have all of you guys been? I hope that you've all been having a nice summer. Well, I guess it's not summer everywhere, is it? But if it is your summer, I hope you've been having a lovely summer. The weather here in the UK, obviously whilst we were away, I spoke to my mum a couple of times on the phone, and I think it's not been great, to be honest, whilst we've been away. I think the weather was not too brilliant. It wasn't what we'd hoped for in the summer, and actually since we've come back, I mean we've been back a couple of days now, the evenings are freezing. I mean last night was really cold. Was it last night? No, it might have been the night before, I think, actually. It was really cold. Yeah, so it's not brilliant, not what you'd kind of hope for really in August, but it is what it is, you know. Oops. Here we go. So I've got some more of that pearl trim. I just wondered whether I could put some on the butterfly. Maybe not actually. So that one probably looks, you know, nice just as that is. So that's another one done. Obviously I'm working on just the tags really that I created at the moment. So I did make things other than just tags, but I just thought I would work on just the tags at the moment. So this one, I think I'm going to just use some lace through this. Actually, I wonder if I've got some thinner lace. Oh, I've got this one. Don't know whether that... Oh, I might use that because it picks up that beautiful colour on that flower really nicely, doesn't it? And what I will do, because this is quite a wide lace, as you can probably see, so I like to just snip this, oops, in half. Like that. And I'm not being too fussy because obviously this is just going to work as a tab, so it doesn't really matter if it's not straight or anything like that, because it's just going through there as a tab anyway. Oops. So when we got back, I thought, oh, I'll see what's on at the cinema and things like that for the children. You know, we always love going to the cinema. There doesn't seem a great deal on. There are lots of 15s, which I thought was a bit unusual for during the summer holidays because, you know, obviously children are home from school. There's normally, I would have thought, or in my memory, you know, I feel like other years there've been more children's films, but it didn't seem a huge amount this year. There we go. Okay, so that looks really pretty. And on this tag, I also popped on a coordinating flower to this one that's on the front, but this is larger and this is a smaller version. They're from my botanical ballroom kit. There's some smallish cards if you like. They're like a background page, but they're full of what could essentially be cut out and used as journaling cards. So there's some larger ones and then the same page shrunk down in a shrunk down version. And of course you can fussy cut the flowers out and use them. So that I thought was quite nice because it's then coordinating. Do I want some bling on there? I mean, you know me, I just love bling everywhere. So also I've got a lot of videos left to, or not left, but a lot of videos to watch because whilst we were on holiday, although I tried my hardest to keep up with replying to comments and things like that, I obviously didn't have a chance and also didn't have regular internet actually in one of our locations to be able to watch YouTube at all. So I've got a lot of videos in my watch later that I need to catch up on. So I apologise particularly to my design team members for if you've uploaded videos and I haven't seen them yet. It's because I haven't obviously been on YouTube watching videos at all. So I do apologise for that, but now I'm home I'm going to hopefully be catching up with regular viewing. So that's that tag. Right, let me see what time I'm up to. Oh, 20 minutes. Right, let's have a look through the other bits and bobs that I have got here. Well, we might as well just do some more tags because we're on like a tag roll here. So these are some of the ones that I've distressed already. And these are some others. I made a variety of things, you know, because I just made whatever took my fancy on the day, really. And as I say, I mean, obviously I didn't really craft every day, and certainly for the middle week I didn't craft at all, but I crafted intermittently. So, and I just used whatever took my fancy on that day, really. So these are some of the tags that I've made. So these two I had already distress inked before turning the camera on today. So what I thought I would do, the reason I haven't punched holes is because I thought actually I might like to have more like a fabric tab on those. So just going to pull that out a bit. So, and again, I'm going to try that fabric tack and see how well that's going to stick that down. So just pop some down here. Because this is quite a thickish lace. This was from, I think they were actually placemats. I've called them doilies in the past when I've used this, but I think they were probably placemats. So they're quite thick. So we'll see how well that fabric tack actually holds that. Hopefully it's going to be, oh, not brilliant so far. Hopefully it's going to be good. So I'll stick it down a bit more. There we go. I mean, obviously you could use the sewing machine to stitch across there, but if you watch my channel, you'll know that my sewing machine's just not here. It's not set up near my desk, it's downstairs. So I don't really have that as an option, but that's fine. I don't mind gluing. And the good thing when you've glued, I quite like to just put some trim across the where the tab is. So I'm just going to pop some more fabric tack on this, and then oh, come on, stick down. And then yes, definitely I can see myself getting in quite a mess with this glue because it's quite thready, but I mean, I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Oops. I'll have even more things stuck all over me now. It's just as thready as the hot glue, actually, which is unexpected. Right, there we go. Pop the lid on that for a minute. Now, do I want any other lace on here? Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? You see, I thought, oh no, I've got enough lace, but actually, you can never have enough lace, can you? So I might just have that there. Just trim that down. Oh, that's really pretty, isn't it? Yeah, I'm going to go for that, I think. So again, and because this is obviously new glue to me, I don't yet, you know, I haven't yet decided, is it better to glue it onto the lace or is it better to actually just glue it onto the card I'm sticking it on. So I will hopefully improve with my method of using this. There we go. Well, it does seem fast drying, so that's quite a plus. Right. The journal, by the way, my personal, you know, holiday journal, it worked beautifully. We filled it in. I have to say the children didn't particularly partake. I think my boys filled in 1 page each, and that was, I had to kind of force them. Last year they were a bit more willing for some reason, but obviously they're older now, and you know. less willing. So yeah, I had to kind of keep saying, oh, why don't you fill a page in? Why don't you fill a page in? But my daughter, who, I mean, obviously she's 5, so she's just learning to write at the moment. So she loves drawing. So she drew a few pictures on the in the journal. I mean, we only had a biro. I mean, actually, she did have some coloured pens and some coloured pencils with her, but she chose to do it in biro. But so that was her contribution. We've got some of her little pictures on some of the pages, and I've still got a few pages that are empty, which obviously, whoops, I will then pop photos on those pages. So it worked out really well. So if I get a chance and remember, I will show the journal. Right, here we go. Now, do I like that, or we could have the muslin? That's quite nice, isn't it? Let's try this more frayed end rather than that end with a seam. Not sure now. Not sure. Just seeing what else I've got laying around here. And 1 or 2 people did say about seeing my desk. So I am contemplating at the moment whether or not I would ever allow people to see my desk. It would definitely be a case of hang my head in shame. But, you know, I find it very inspirational having it in such a mess. It's, yeah, I find it helpful to have all my rubbish everywhere. And I'm sure that I can't be the only person with a messy desk. Well, several people have said their desks are also a tip. So that was nice to hear that I'm not alone in that. But whether or not I actually think it's, you know, worthy of showing, well, not worthy, but worth the risk showing it, I'm not too sure. Right, pop that muslin on, and then I'm just going to stick some lace on there as well. Oops, just so it's got some more decorative elements. And then, oh gosh, that was my dry wet wipe, and it's now just sticking all over me. Let's get that a bit thready looking. Okay. My wash bin seems fuller than ever. I think what's happened, my husband said to me, oh my gosh, we've got so much washing. I said, yeah, I have a feeling that the unpacking went directly from the bag into the wash bin. You know, in my son's cases particularly, I suspect is what's gone on, and that's why it's so messy, you know, or so much washing. I mean, to be fair, you know, they are teenagers, so that's how you roll when you're a teenager, isn't it? When asked to unpack, it would probably end up just in the wash bin. But even things that they didn't wear, well, to be honest, they're really good boys, and you know, they're not messy particularly at all. My daughter, she's the messy one. My husband and my daughter, they're the messy ones. And my daughter's got a little thing at the moment with beads and things like that in it, you know, for making like junky jewellery. So it was just a cheap one from a shop over here that we have over here called Poundland. And whenever we go on holiday, I like to buy, well, I don't for the boys anymore, but for her, and I used to do it for the boys when they were small, I just buy sort of a tenner's worth of, you know, that £10 worth of just junky toys and rubbish really. So I mean, for her I got her a skipping rope and some other little bits and bobs, and obviously some more coloured pencils, another colouring book and things like that, just new things that are new to her. So she's, when we were on holiday, like when I mentioned in the afternoon, when then we went back, kind of when we would have a shower, I would do some crafting, she had some bits to play with too. So I'm just making sure that's stuck. So one of the things that I got was a little bead set. Again, it was only £1, obviously, from Poundland. And yeah, she's got beads now everywhere. So I went in the bathroom yesterday and there were beads on the floor in there, you know, because she obviously has them on a little string, and then everywhere she goes they're dropping off, and then beads are just laying all over our house. So yeah, she's quite messy, to be honest. Right, so that's probably it for now, because I can hear people moving around quite a bit, so I'm sure they're wanting breakfast. So that's our finished tags that we've kind of zhuzhed up since being home. And obviously I have an enormous pile still left of things to do. So I probably do a bit in slow time, but maybe come on and do another process video if I get a chance. So hopefully I'm going to get back into the swing of it and a bit more my normal self, rather than a little bit more, you know, it just takes a while to get back into the swing of doing the videos, I think. So thank you very much for tuning in, and hope you all have a really great day, and see you all again soon. Thanks, Em. Bye.